The forgotten town, three friends, Alex, Brian, and Jenny, set out on a road trip to escape the monotony of their everyday lives. Alex was the adventurous type, always on the lookout for something new to explore. Brian was the practical one, often the voice of reason in their group. Jenny, a photographer with an eye for the unusual, was eager to capture unique shots for her portfolio. They aimed to explore the lesser-known corners of their state, armed with a map, a full tank of gas, and a sense of adventure. It was late afternoon when they found themselves on a narrow, winding road that seemed to disappear into the dense forest. The map showed nothing significant, but a hand-painted sign pointed to a place called Willow Creek. Curiosity piqued, they decided to take the detour. "Have any of you heard of Willow Creek?" Jenny asked, adjusting her camera strap. "Nope," Alex replied. "But that's the fun part, right? Discovering places off the beaten path." Brian, glancing at the map, shrugged. "It doesn't even show up here. Probably just a tiny town or something. Let's check it out." The road grew narrower and more overgrown, until finally they emerged into a clearing. Willow Creek lay before them, a small, quaint town that looked like it had stepped out of a different era. The streets were lined with old-fashioned buildings, their windows dusty and dark. The town seemed deserted. "This place is like a ghost town," Brian said, peering out the car window. "Let's check it out," Alex suggested. "Maybe we'll find something interesting." They parked the car and started exploring. The silence was eerie, broken only by the rustling of leaves and the occasional creak of an old sign swinging in the breeze. They saw no one, yet the town didn't feel entirely empty. There was a sense of being watched, of unseen eyes tracking their every move. Jenny spotted a diner and suggested they go inside. The bell above the door jingled as they entered, but no one came to greet them. Dust coated the counters and tables, and the air was stale. Despite this, the jukebox in the corner hummed to life and began playing a scratchy old tune. "Hello? Is anyone here?" Jenny called out. From the kitchen a figure emerged, a middle-aged woman with a vacant smile and eyes that seemed to look through them. "Welcome to Willow Creek," she said, her voice hollow. "What can I get you?" Unease settled over the group, but they decided to stay and ordered some coffee. As they sat waiting, they noticed the clock on the wall. Its hands moved erratically, spinning and stopping unpredictably. "This place is seriously creepy," Brian whispered. "Maybe we should leave." Alex nodded. "Yeah, let's finish up and get out of here." Their coffee arrived, served by the woman who now had a fixed, eerie grin. They drank quickly, unsettled by her constant, unblinking gaze. As they got up to leave, she spoke again. "You should stay. The night is dangerous." Ignoring her warning, they rushed out of the diner and back to their car. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the deserted town. They climbed into the car and started the engine, but it sputtered and died. "Great, now what?" Alex muttered, trying the ignition again to no avail. "We'll have to find someone to help us," Jenny said. "Maybe there's a mechanic or something." They split up, each heading in different directions to search for help. As darkness fell, the town took on an even more sinister air. The buildings seemed to loom closer, the streets twisted and unfamiliar. No matter where they went, they ended up back at the center of town, the diner always in view. Jenny was the first to notice it. The same feeling of being watched intensified. She glanced around and saw shadowy figures peering from the windows of the buildings. When she tried to approach, they vanished. "Guys, we need to leave now," she shouted, running back to the car. Alex and Brian joined her, their faces pale with fear. "We're trapped," Brian said, panic rising in his voice. "This town is a maze." Just then, the streetlights flickered on, casting an eerie glow. The shadows grew bolder, emerging from the darkness. The friends huddled together, watching as the figures took shape. Residents of the town, their faces twisted in anguish, their eyes empty. "You shouldn't have come here," one of them said, his voice echoing with sorrow. "Now you can't leave." Desperation took hold. They sprinted towards the edge of town, but the roads kept looping back, leading them in circles. The figures followed, closing in, their whispers filling the air. "We have to break the loop," Alex shouted. "There has to be a way out." They stumbled into the town square, where the shadowy figures formed a ring around them. The friends stood back to back, clutching each other in terror. The whispers grew louder, a chorus of despair and warning. Suddenly, Jenny remembered the woman's words in the diner. "The night is dangerous," she had said. "Stay." "What if we have to stay until morning?" Jenny said, her voice trembling. Maybe that's the only way. With no other options, they retreated into the diner and barricaded the door. The shadowy figures pressed against the windows, but did not enter. They huddled together in the dim light, waiting for dawn, as the figures outside continued their haunting vigil. As the first light of morning broke, the whispers faded, and the figures vanished. The clock on the wall stopped spinning, and a strange calm settled over the town. When they stepped outside, the car started without a problem. The roads were clear, leading them back to the world they knew. They drove away, silent and shaken, never daring to look back. Willow Creek returned to its eerie stillness, waiting for the next unsuspecting visitors to wander in and join its forgotten history.